The Galactic Council, a coalition of powerful alien civilizations, convenes a summit to determine humanity's place in the galactic order. The Council, made up of species that have long dominated interstellar politics, views humans as primitive, unpredictable, and fragile. But their biggest assumption? That Earth's women fear war and are unfit for leadership in conflict. Their condescending words reach the ears of Ambassador Livia Kade, Earth's most seasoned diplomat. She came seeking peace. But when she hears their words, peace is no longer an option. The Galactic Council's arrogance. The chamber of the Galactic Council was vast, filled with luminescent banners of 100 worlds. Towering alien figures sat in their grand seats, some with crystalline bodies that refracted the artificial sunlight, others covered in chitinous plates, or wrapped in robes of woven biosilk. At the center of the assembly stood High Chancellor Vorash, a towering reptilian being of the Zendari race, his emerald scales shimmering under the lights. He raised a clawed hand to silence the murmurs. It is the ruling of this council that humanity, while possessing a surprising level of resilience, remains unsuitable for war. Their species does not have the discipline or the necessary biological traits to endure prolonged conflict against our enemies. And of all their kind, their women, fragile, timid, and instinctively nurturing, would suffer most in the face of true war. They cannot be expected to lead in battle, nor should they ever hold command in a crisis. There was a murmur of agreement. The Council, ancient and complacent, had fought many wars. They had crushed insurgents, eradicated rebellions, and subjugated new species. They believed themselves above the savagery of lesser beings. But they had never faced Earth's wrath. And they had never met Ambassador Livia Kade, the woman who did not fear war. A single voice shattered the silence. "You absolute fools." The chamber turned as one toward the human delegation. Livia Kade stood tall in her crisp diplomatic uniform, the insignia of the Terran United Nations gleaming on her chest. She had come in peace, but her patience had been burned away in an instant. "You sit in your gilded thrones and speak of war as if it's something you understand," she continued, her voice cold, precise, lethal. "You claim that Earth's women fear war? You think we are weak because we choose peace." Her boots echoed against the polished floor as she stepped forward. The alien diplomats, so used to looking down on humans, found themselves leaning back. Something in her posture, in her presence, unsettled them. "Let me tell you what Earth's women know of war," Livia said, her voice carrying the weight of millennia. In the trenches of World War I, when the men lay dying in the mud, it was the women who carried them off the battlefield, stitching their shattered bodies back together while bombs fell around them. In World War II, it was the women who built the war machines, cracked the enemy's codes, and picked up rifles when their homes were threatened. When the nuclear fires of Hiroshima and Nagasaki burned the sky, it was the women who walked through the ash to gather what remained of the living. We have endured holocausts, massacres, and genocides. We have borne witness to the absolute worst of humanity, and still, we have fought. And when the time came, we were the ones who decided enough. She took another step forward, her steel-gray eyes boring into Vorash's own. "You sit here and believe that not wanting war makes us weak. That our ability to show mercy, to negotiate, to seek diplomacy is cowardice. But mercy is not weakness. It is restraint. And restraint is only possessed by those who know how much damage they can do." She leaned forward slightly, lowering her voice. "We do not fear war. We just don't start them for sport like you do." The silent threat of Earth. The chamber was dead silent. The council had expected human arrogance. What they had not expected was this quiet, simmering rage. Vorash tried to speak, but his throat was dry. You are a diplomat. Are you threatening the council?" Livia Kade smiled. It was not a pleasant smile. "Threatening you," she repeated.
"No.
"I'm educating you. You are the ones who implied that humanity is weak, that our women are afraid of war. I'm simply telling you the truth. We do not fear war. But you should fear us." She turned, walking back to her delegation. Before she sat down, She glanced over her shoulder. Earth's women have bled in wars for thousands of years. The only difference is, this time, if war comes, we will be the ones bringing it to you. The council did not speak for a long time after that.